Hello everybody, welcome back. It is me, your old pal Orpheus, with another adventure here on Orpheus Plays. We're playing Blade Sorcery today, of course, the wonderful game where you get to pretend that you are creeping around as a medieval murderer and you go and you silently kill people. No, I'm kidding. All you do is you just rip people apart and chop their heads off and stuff. Anyway, hi. How you doing? I hope you're doing well wherever you are today, whether it is day or night. And here we are today, and I wanted to talk about something that I haven't really ever addressed, not at least in its own episode. And that is, why do we love Blade and Sorcery so much? Why do I love it so much? And why do you, dear viewer, why do you love it so much as well? So let's get started today. We are in survival mode. That means 3 weapons come out. I choose one of them and I destroy everybody that comes out of those doors and make it very painful for them. Why are there these 2 giant swords? This is the Lowlander and this is the Scandinavian Greatsword. And to round it out, we've got the stick, the bow. Let's see, let's choose, I don't know, which one's more ridiculous? Let's try this one. Yes, another great day for murder here with the Lowlander here on Blade and Sorcery. It's kind of a thing that I like to say to do. So let's see, let's get our first traditional slow motion kill of the day out of the way real quick. Let swords come in here with a little strike, another strike, and boom, you are out of here. Oh, let's take care of that. And now with that out of the way, let's get to our topic today. So, as you've probably seen with this game, on my channel for more than a year now. We're coming up on a year and a half, actually, which is kind of scary. But if you're subscribed, thank you very much. If you're not, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is free, and you get to see all sorts of crazy stories from me, your pal, or that's right. I almost said my name again. And no, don't worry, it doesn't start with an O, so everybody just calm down. I wouldn't do that. Anyway, so... why do we love to play Blade and Sorcery so much? Well, I think that this is a topic that kind of deserves a little bit more of a look than most people say. Yeah, it's a fun game. Yeah, you get to go around and you get to hack and slash stuff, and ooh, that's all fun and everything, and I get to hit this guy in the ass and stab him in the knee and throw him around and everything, right? But there's something deeper than this silly game where we get to chop people up and we get to pretend that we're this brutal murderer from all the medieval movies and stuff. You know, like I have done an entire episode about Conan the Barbarian. You know, like Conan is one of the iconic movies that I'm sure if you're watching and you've played Blade and Sorcery, you've probably seen the Conan movies. You may have seen Red Sonja as well. You've probably watched all of Game of Thrones and all those things. But why do those things get us so going? Why is it so cool to have a sword, right? Instead of like a club or a stick or a knife or whatever. Why do we love having these silly bladed weapons instead of something more efficient, right? There's guns in this game, okay? We all have seen the gun mods in this game. Ooh. The lead maul. Oh yeah. We've all seen the guns in this game, right? The Halo rifles, and then I sometimes have a Desert Eagle that I come around in this game with. But why is stuff like that right there so much more fun? Well, I think it goes back to sort of a primalistic sort of thing with every single human being. We all come from pink mist. We all come from common ancestry that existed because they were brutal, okay? The early times in mankind, and some may argue even now, mankind has been more and more, well, the survival instinct is very tough. It's very strong, let's put it that way. And so, when faced with something like starvation, or like, you know, a threat for your land or your people, or whatever it is, your natural instinct is to defend. And how do we defend? Well, we do it with our hands and feet and sticks and swords and knives and all that stuff, right? and big scary hammers. But I think it's because the people that were among mankind that managed to always just beat the hell out of what are you doing, bro? That managed to beat the hell out of every other human being that was around them, right? Every other person that came as a threat is now dead, right? Okay, so that means that you and I come from ancestry that is shared. Number one, hi, you're related to me in some way. Somewhere back there, you and I are related all the way back at the beginning, or maybe somewhere closer. You could be my long-lost relative, who knows? But, so she picks up a book. Nice. Yeah, you're gonna But it is because our shared common ancestry was tough and rough and murderous, right? And so that means that there's still this part deep inside each of us that says, you know, I would love to just chop someone up. I would love to cut someone apart and chop them with a sword like this and chop their head off and come in here and do a little bit of this action on you. Why is it there? Well, it's because it's a primal instinct. It is this thing that boils within each of us. This ability, this need, right? And some of us fulfill that need by doing stuff like hunting, right? Some of us go and fulfill that need by playing sports, okay? I think we're all familiar with what's known as an allegory, okay? The commonalities or shared understanding between something like war and something like football, okay? George Carlin did a brilliant thing where he talks about how football and war are essentially the same thing. The football is just scaled down because you have two opponents and you have bombs and blitzes and long runs. Like, it's interesting. You should go check out his little rant on that. But it is, you know, if you have that need, you go do something like sports, and you get into the tough sports like football and basketball, and you know, full contact sports. Hockey is a great one. There's always the joke: you went to a fight and a hockey game broke out, and that, I mean, I still love to watch hockey games, and when the fights break out, we're all like, yeah, beat his ass, oh, right? But I think that all goes back to that primal need. We have this need, this boiling thing going on inside of us. But what do we do about it? How do we channel it besides sports and hunting? What if you don't play sports? What if you don't go hunting? What kind of an experience can you take away that gives you some sort of release, right? Well, society tells us we're not supposed to, you know, go out and murder people, obviously. Okay? And those who have an issue between reality and their deep thoughts of their id, right? The deep core of each one of us that wants to crap and eat and cry and fight. That's the part of us that wants to get in here and be this murderous person. And so what I think happens is we find games like this, and I found this game, I don't know, 2 years ago, something like that, and immediately I fell in love with this game because it lets you do so much more. You know, I played World of Warcraft and Ultima and first-person shooters, things like, you know, Call of Duty and Overwatch and things like that. I've played Diablo and all those games, Red Dead Online, where you get to do all this stuff. Wow. I've played, Might and Magic a little bit, and it's, you know, Might and Magic is like the ancestor of this game, you know, Blade and Sorcery, Might and Magic, and it's all been kind of fun, but when VR came along to the point, you know, I tried out some of the early VR setups back in the when was that, the 90s? Actually, there were a couple systems that I got strapped into in the 80s that were just the end of the 80s that were ridiculous. The headsets weighed like 30 pounds and stuff. It was awful. You'd spend 5 minutes in there and be like, this is uncomfortable, I don't like this. But as soon as VR turned into something like this, the Quest headset, right? When anyone could go out and get yourself a VR headset and start getting into this immersive world that happens, man, I mean, could it be a little worrying that this is like something that fulfills such a need in me, such a primalistic, like, I don't know. It's really strange to me because it's not like I have these murderous urges. Well, okay, that's a lie. We all have murderous urges, right? If there's some stupid idiot that's like in front of us in traffic or something, I'm sure once in a while that we've all had that. I'm gonna kill this guy, right? Like that, very clean, very beautiful. Would you stop with your lightning? Bro, you're going in the Brad. Into the pit with you. I feel another sorcerer back here. Come here. But with the advent of the VR that's so easy for everybody to get, I got one of these and I was just like, oh my god, I have never experienced anything so immersive. I think all of us, when we put on the VR headset for the first time and we start doing stuff like Google Earth and everything, and you're looking around and you're just like, oh my god, we all have that same face with like our mouth is hanging open. We're like, oh, right. And I think that, no, not that. Give me this. So it tore the pommel off. Nice. Give me that. Hey, can I put it back? I can. Yay! See another thing. Just shit like this. Anyway, so we all had that kind of same experience. We put on the VR headset. If you don't own a VR headset and you're watching this, I really do suggest it. It is pretty sweet to be able to go different places, and you really do feel like you're there. And a lot of times, you know, the price point is really low now, so you may as well get in on it. But it tricks your brain, right? It makes it so your brain kind of feels what you're doing. And these controllers here, these controllers have a big thing to do with it because of the vibrations, right? What's known as the haptic feedback. It really does give you this in this feeling like I feel like I'm hitting these together right now, right? And so the immersion of being able to chop into people and like just beat the absolute ever-loving snot out of them, not only is it a great workout, folks. Oh my god, if you've never gone and done games like Beat Saber and what's the other one that I play? Oh, I can't remember it right now. Oh, it's the Pistol Whip. I play that one a lot too. And Pistol Whip, good lord, that's a physical game. But you know, what it does is it allows us to do that kind of thing, right? And I picked up on it so heavy right away, and I don't 100% know why. There's some other fighting games that I tried in here, right? There's some other things that I've done, but none of them have been to this level. And I really gotta hand it to Baron and Crispy and stuff. You are doing some amazing work on this game, man. This game's been out, what, 3.5 years? No, since 2018 or something like that. And it has gotten so incredible since then. The breakable objects. Okay, so I'm going a little fan service on this, but if you've played this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a level of immersion in this game that allows you to just escape from everything. Now, the thing that I lightly touched on before. Does this game... Should it be worrisome to people if you play this game like a lot and you get such joy out of this, out of just like stabbing and twisting people and stuff? I don't know. If you're in the same room as someone who's playing this game and you start noticing that they're just not just giggling maniacally, but like, you can tell when someone's really angry about something, like you can feel it. I gotta do the frying pan. You can feel when someone's really upset about something, right? And so I think if you notice someone like starting to get really, really aggressive, just like, oh, right? And you can tell between like just someone going, oh, right? You've seen me in this game where I go, oh, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if the person is legitimately like... I don't know if you can recognize the signs of bloodlust, right? But if you can, keep an eye out for it. I am not saying that this game in any way makes anyone more or less dangerous than any other activity out there. Yeah, this exposes you to violence and stuff, but this is so cartoonish, right? The sounds are all the same. I whip people's heads off with a sword. I mean, it's I mean, for God's sake, right now I'm wearing a RoboCop helmet, okay? So what you're telling me that this is going to be representative of a violent experience that I have in my life? But to get back to the things like Game of Thrones and Sword and Sorcery and Might and Magic and you know, Excalibur and things like that, why does that captivate us so much? I think it's because it harkens back to a time when things were simple, right? This is a simple environment. I've got a sword, I've got enemies, I've got my wits, and I've got my reflexes. And that is all that this game demands of you. Like, literally, that is all this game wants out of you. It wants you to just dance around with your sword and make people miserable. And there's something about that is just so beautiful and so simple and so wonderful to do. And I really want to thank the developers, and I want to thank you for watching me play this game, because it gives me more of a chance to do stuff and say stuff and tell silly stories and do all sorts of crazy crap. And we'll see you in the next one. That's been my little blurb about why I love Blade and Sorcery so much. Tell me in the comments below why you love Blade and Sorcery so much. Is it the action? Is it the silliness? Is it being blah blah blah? Ooh, is it the is it how things get absolutely crazy after a little bit? I don't know. Let me know. Is it exploding heads? Anyway, we'll see you in the next one here on Orpheus Plays. Be good, do good, and treat yourself well, because you know what? You deserve it. See you next time. Bye!